So a lot of you may be curious about the 4 new POIs in Fortnite: Squibbly Shores, Frigid Fortress, New Sanctuary, and Dark Dominion. And a lot of you were wanting a kind of breakdown of each of the new POIs. We're just going to go through them, break them down the best we can, kind of walk through them and see what we can have to offer for you all. So first of all, the POIs honestly didn't change too much. A lot of them just got new skins. There's a lot of things from old seasons or like the last season. Now at this new spot, pretty much all of the buildings are in the exact same location. There's a little bit of uniqueness to it now due to the fact that there are these little pillars that almost look like giant solar panels. They sometimes will hold chests and some different kinds of loot, so just be on the lookout for those. Alright, so what we're going to do is we're actually going to travel to the bottom. We're going to go inside the sanctuary and kind of show off what's new, some of the new additions to it, and what you can find. And we're going to attempt not to die while doing it. So as you walk in, you can automatically see like different things, like a plan to actually do something, some kind of math stuff, but you know, I'm trying to make it as a content creator. I'm not trying to do math. But if I'm not mistaken, it actually has a lot more layers to it now. There's a lot more chests. There's a lot more loot. And you can find neat things like where the 7 actually stays, where they're sleeping. And you can make your way all the way down to the bottom here. Now, when you make it down to the bottom, you're going to see it's a lot different than it was last time. You can see this is where the ship could launch from, or this is where it could land. Biggest thing that a lot of people are wondering is how to access the vault. How do you get in here? I think the best way to access that vault is going to be coming in about 2 weeks. I actually had a commenter say it, and I was kind of on the same path as them, but I didn't want to lie to anybody who was asking about it. If you look at the past, if you look at the under the foundation tab, you can see in the showdown that there is actually a vault key coming out once everybody gets to that point. On both sides of it, there's a vault key for the foundation and there's a vault key for the Ice King. So I'm assuming that within those vaults, that's how we're going to be able to access it, and it's going to add the loot to the game, and we're going to be able to figure out what's actually inside. You can also find the Rock, aka the leader of the foundation, right here. You can hire him if you want to, and you can also ask him about the foundation and the Ice King. I highly recommend you do so. It's just fun for the story, and he's a good bot to hire. You can also see their workout room is right here. They even went far enough to show you their like sleeping arrangements. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 beds. So I thought that was pretty neat as well. Okay, next on the POI list, we're going to be talking about Squibbly Shores. Now, what I really like about this place is there is 2 sections to it. As you can see, the rival thing is up here. You have this little market section that has a bunch of loot, really neat like fish stick containers, but they also, this is the spot for the Vendetta Flopper. If you don't know what the Vendetta Flopper is, you can hold up to 2 of them, and it basically scans the area, and it's going to mark any enemies that are within your range of the Vendetta Flopper. You can usually find it on this conveyor belt, or you can find it by fishing with the super rod. Most of this place is just your basic POI. You can talk to Chef Squibbly here, and what they'll do, they'll gain health or shield, or you can buy the pro fishing rod. But there's something even better about this POI. So in this section of the POI, kind of in between the first half and the second half, you have this little spot that's going to give you the little jump effect. You're going to be able to jump all around, do what you need to do. There's also loot flying in the air. It's a really good way to start a game. So if you're fighting somebody, you're able to jump in, and this effect does last for a while. It doesn't just go away. If we're looking at the second half, you can see we had Squibbly die. He died right in front of our eyes. In here, this is a lighthouse key card spot. So you're going to be able to find the key card. If you want to know how to find it and you want a tutorial on that, link will be in the description down below. Now, the second half of this spot is going to be this dock section right here. Again, just another really good spot to loot up, kind of away from all your opponents, and you're going to be able to hit this jump pad when you're done. It's a neat little spot to go fishing, kind of start the game slowly, and work your way towards the rest of the map. There's also a jump pad at the top of the lighthouse, so if you want really, really, really far rotation, that's where you need to go. What a rat. Okay, the next location we're going to be talking about is going to be Frigid Fortress. You can find it at the top of the map. You can see it is completely taken over the snowy section. Now, if you played in Chapter 5, Season 2, Myths and Mortals, you're going to recognize this POI because it is basically a carbon copy of Hades's, like, castle. The only difference is, instead of it being green and you getting the teleport effect, it's covered in snow and ice. Now, we're going to drop at the very front and try to work our way up the best we can because a lot of people are going to be dropping. This is going to be the new spot to drop. drop. Everyone's going to come here. But we're going to start at the very beginning. As you can see, there's a little bit of an entranceway to start. Plenty of loot everywhere. One of the biggest concerns I've had for this season is ammo. So if you don't want to worry about ammo, this is the place for you to go. You can also see sometimes there's going to be chests frozen inside of these. So you're going to want to make sure to be on the lookout for those, because they typically drop pretty decent loot. You also got to be very careful. There's zip lines all over the place, nooks and crannies where people can be hiding. So you just got to be on your P's and Q's. They do have this little crack section that you are able to normally jump over here. But let's get into the main section of this place. So as you can see, as we're coming up to the intro, you have the Ice King right there. When you fight the Ice King, be very careful. Make sure to kill his bot first, and then attack the Ice King. That is the best way to go about it. Otherwise, you will get shredded. The Ice King already does so much damage, and it's not a guarantee for him to drop his loot. He's going to drop a legendary nemesis when you do finish him. So make sure you are ready for that fight. And you can kind of see, as you walk in, you can see from the trailer, this is the spot that was broken. We have the feet left, but this person is a goner. You can see all the people we have inside. I think it's really neat, the skins that they decided to put in here. Just Captain America frozen in ice because of his storyline. I mean, you just have a bunch of ancient and historical people in here, and I just think they were really smart about that. As we travel our way up, you can see this place has already been looted, but you can see there is something lurking back there. If you get the angle wrong, you won't be able to see it, but if you go straight onto it, you can see almost like a fossil, a dinosaur. Something is there. If I'm not mistaken, you're going to be able to loot inside of there. It's going to take you to a little spot. This is where you're going to be able to put the vault key. Like I was talking about earlier with the new sanctuary, this is where you're going to do it for the Ice King when you get to that part of the rewards. One of the neatest parts about the fortress is going to be these little spots on the side. You have a little fishing spot. You can go ice fishing here if you want to. Has some decent loot, has some cool ways to run around the map, and it's definitely going to be interesting to see how fights play out with all of the cover. You don't get the ice effect when you're running on it. They did not add that in, so it's just going to be normal running and rotations. This is going to be a really interesting spot. There's also a new back section to the fortress. There's a little cabin down there that has a jump pad and a little bit of loot down here. This is also a really good spot to start. If you want to start here, loot up a little bit before you get to the Ice King. They do have this little section back here. There's not much to it other than just gaining the loot before pushing to the main POI. To the west of it, you have a slurp tanker, so you're going to be able to land there and get full shields if you want to. But the really neat part about this side is going to be this rift shard over here. One thing I forgot to mention is if you go right here, right where the arrow is pointing, there is a little mini game where you can play curling and get some special loot. So make sure to check it out while you're over here. Now, these rift shards have appeared all over the map, and they're a really good spot to start and to rotate to. You're going to get this bounce effect. You're going to be able to jump all around, hop all around. But what makes it the most interesting is what happens when you jump into the rift shards. You're going to be able to actually rip. It's going to be a great way to rotate throughout the map, rotate to new zones, everything like that. I think they are highly, highly, highly usable. I think they're very viable as a form of movement, to rotate long, to get out of fights, and to just move to new POIs. Okay, this is now my third game. I keep dying, but our last spot, our last POI is going to be Dark Dominion. It is sitting right in the middle here. We're going to go ahead and try to drop there and see what we can show you guys. Now, Dark Dominion as a whole, the mini event did not showcase everything that they were planning to do with this POI, and I think they've done a fantastic job with some of the updates that maybe you have missed. First of all, if you are a casual player like me, do not drop here. You can see the amount of people here. I'm going to try to get in and get out as quick as I possibly can. Woo! As you can see, this is one of the sweatiest POIs in the game right now. I would say this and the Fortress are going to be your top two sweatiest POIs. So if you just want a relaxing experience, this is not the place to go at all. So just like all the POIs, not much here has changed up top. Where most of the changes have happened is the bottom, but I do want to showcase one small detail that they did add. If you are rotating through here, make sure to hit these because they do give you the slap effect. Once you jump on these, it will give you the slap effect. You're going to be able to run and rotate a little bit quicker. It's just a good way to get free sprint and to be able to move freely without too much pressuring you. Now, when you go here, you're going to be starting to get the jump effect. I believe you can still jump into this and you will get the rift just like all the other rift shards. Most of the new stuff, though, is going to be underneath. Now, if you didn't go underneath last season, you're missing out. So underneath, you're going to see there is a quest cube right in the dead center. So go ahead and pick that up while you're down here. Everything has changed to become the Foundation's colors. You see the orange. You see everything. There's plenty of loot down here. Lots of nooks and crannies, so you got to be careful when you're down here. Now, if you make your way down here, there's going to be a doorway open, and it's going to actually take you here, which is going to be the exact same as last season. You're still going to be able to get the keys and everything to unlock these chests. There's blue chests in here that are going to give you really good loot, but there's just a new way to rotate. You can see little things like it looks like a prison cell, but you have a Peely doll and you have a Meowscles doll in prison as roommates, and you can see a little bit of dust coming from the light. I don't know if this is going to have to do with anything in the future, but we will find out at some point. Like I said, I believe the biggest change to this POI is going to be these cubes. I believe there's 4 to 6 of them roaming around. There's one there, here. And the best thing to do, hit them real quick while you're moving. Run up to this rift shard, and you're going to be able to teleport. And you're going to be able to rift out or into fights as best as possibly can. Now, I will say it does not last nearly as long as a normal splash, but it is a quick way to start moving around. So those are the 4 new POIs this season. I know a lot of people, including myself, were expecting pretty much a whole brand new map. We did not get that. Overall, the new season seems like it has a lot of promise. There's a lot of things that are going on with it, and I'm looking forward to the future. Right now, I am not the most impressed with the new POIs. I do think they've done a very unique job as to portraying the story. I do think the POIs are a little bit lackluster. I don't know if they were trying to hide the fact. I don't know. Of course, I don't work at Epic. It does seem like they kind of baited us, talking about a whole new map, talking about a whole new loot pool. There's still things from the last season. I'm very glad that the lightning gun and the lock-on are gone, but there are still a few remnants from last season. Overall, let me know what you think about the new POIs down below. I think that they have a lot of work to do this season to really make it a memorable one. I think they have the foundations and the building blocks to make it memorable, but we'll see. Let me know what you think, and hopefully you enjoyed the video, and I'll see y'all next time. Peace.